Can I ask you something honest? You've been working all day, answering clients, handling contracts, putting out fires, following up on everything, showing homes, taking loan applications, taking care of everybody but yourself. And somehow, at the end of that very full day, you still feel behind. Not just behind in your business, behind in your life. And you keep making yourself this promise. Once things slow down, once I get caught up, once this season passes, then I'll reset. Then I'll be present. Then I'll finally feel balanced. But here's what no one in this industry wants to admit. That moment, it never comes. And today I want to talk about why. Because I don't think you have a time management problem. I think you have a burnout problem. And it's been quietly running your business, maybe for years. Stay with me. This one's important. Is your mind constantly racing with endless to-dos, yet you still feel stuck? Are you feeling guilty when you unplug? Or are you exhausted from hustling nonstop? Hi, I'm Lesa, wife, mom, grandma, and business owner for over 3 decades. I know what it takes to build a business you love without burning out. If you're ready to trade overwhelm for clarity and create a business that honors your values and your life, you're in the right place. So take a deep breath, close those 12 browser tabs, and drop the hustle. It's time to become the Balanced Businesswoman. Before we get into today's episode, I want to pause with a special message for you. I know the overwhelm you're carrying feels heavy. That tightness in your chest, the constant feeling of holding everything together, the quiet voice that whispers, "Why does this feel so hard? Am I really cut out for this?" Listen to me. You're not alone. Every high-achieving woman in real estate I work with has felt this at some point. Successful on the outside, but tired, stretched thin, and trying to push through on her own behind the scenes. And here's the truth. Every woman who has stepped into her next level without burning out felt exactly what you're feeling right now. The doubt, the exhaustion, the sense that something has to change. If this is resonating, if part of you is saying, "I can't keep doing it this way," that's not weakness, that's wisdom. You don't have to figure this out alone. Inside my private business diagnostic conversation, we slow everything down, get clear on what's weighing on you, and create a calm, intentional way forward together. If you're ready to breathe again, think clearly again, and move forward with confidence and peace, go to bit.ly/bb-diagnostic and book your private conversation today. You don't have to stay overwhelmed. Let's get you grounded. Okay, let's dive into today's episode. Hey friends, welcome back to the podcast. I'm so glad you're here because today's topic, it's one I honestly don't think gets talked about enough, even though I do feel like I'm talking about it every week on this podcast. But anyway, when I do bring it up with the women I coach, I almost always see the same thing happen. Their shoulders drop, they let out this big exhale, and they say, "I thought it was just me." It's not just you. Here's what I see all the time. Women in real estate who, from the outside, look completely successful. Their business is running, clients are happy, numbers are good, people think they're thriving. But internally, they're exhausted, mentally overloaded, emotionally drained, and constantly feeling like they're behind. And here's what makes this so hard, specifically for women in real estate. This industry was built to reward overworking. It praises being available. It glorifies being busy. Being on 24/7 isn't just normalized, it's celebrated. And so many women have built incredibly successful businesses while simultaneously building lives that are quietly depleting them. And after a while, you stop noticing how heavy it's gotten. You just start believing this is what success requires. I remember years ago, there was almost this badge of honor around being slammed. You wanted people to know that your calendar was packed because somehow busy became proof that you were winning. Here's what I'm seeing now, especially with experienced women in real estate. You're waking up, you're looking at the business you've worked so hard to build and realizing you don't actually want to live inside it anymore. Not because you don't love real estate, but because you're tired of your business consuming your entire life. These women don't want to quit. They want to breathe. They want success without sacrificing themselves to get there. And I know that's possible because that's the exact work I help women do. But first, we have to get honest about why balance keeps feeling out of reach. So, let's walk through the 3 things I see happening over and over again. Number 1, most women are trying to create balance on top of burnout. I want you to really sit with that for a second. You can't create balance from a depleted nervous system. If you're mentally exhausted, emotionally overloaded, running on adrenaline, and constantly in reaction mode, balance isn't going to feel possible. Because burnout doesn't just affect your energy, it affects the way you think. Burnout makes everything feel urgent. Everything feels heavy. Everything feels emotionally louder than it actually is. So you wake up already behind. Before your feet even hit the floor, your brain is running through the deals, the clients, the texts, the follow-ups, all the things you forgot, all the things you still need to do. Your nervous system never gets a chance to reset. This is why so many women tell me, I took a day off and I still feel exhausted. Because exhaustion isn't always physical. Sometimes it's the emotional weight of carrying everything all the time. And women in real estate carry so much invisible labor, not just business labor. We carry emotional labor, being available, managing everyone's expectations, keeping everybody happy, holding it all together. And eventually, your body starts keeping score. You become irritable, foggy, emotionally reactive, disconnected from yourself. And here's the part that really gets me. When you're burned out, most women start working more trying to fix the feeling. If I can just get caught up, if I can just get ahead, then I'll feel better. But the caught up moment never comes because the issue isn't your to-do list. It's the way your business is operating. Number 2, women are trying to create work-life balance without boundaries. And I'm going to say something that I probably say all the time, and it might sting a little. But here it is. You cannot have balance without boundaries. It's just not possible. If everybody has unlimited access to you, you will eventually lose access to yourself. And I think women especially struggle here because so many of us were conditioned to believe that being good means being available, helpful, responsive, accommodating, especially in real estate, where clients expect quick answers and social media has made everyone feel accessible around the clock. But here's what I want you to hear. Just because someone can text you at 9:30 at night doesn't mean you're required to answer. Now, I know some of you just got nervous, but Lesa, what if I lose business? Can I lovingly push back on that? The women I see building the healthiest, most sustainable businesses, they usually have the clearest boundaries. Because boundaries don't cost you business. They protect your ability to keep doing business. Now, does that mean you never work evenings? Of course not. Does it mean you never go above and beyond for a client? Absolutely not. But there is a real difference between intentional flexibility and chronic over-availability. One comes from choice. The other comes from fear. Fear of disappointing people, fear of missing out, fear of not being enough. And so instead of choosing, you just stay constantly available. And eventually, you start to resent the very business you work so hard to build. I see this especially with women who've been in real estate for a long time. Women who built their business during the era of hustle culture. And now they're looking around thinking, I can't do another 10 years like this. And really, why would you want to? You shouldn't have to, and you don't. Number 3, women are confusing being busy with being effective. This one's huge, and I think it might be the biggest reason so many women feel perpetually behind. Just because your calendar is full does not mean the right things are getting done. Most women spend their entire day in reaction mode, reacting to emails, texts, calls, problems, other people's priorities, and at the end of the day, they realize none of their own priorities actually moved forward. This is why time management alone isn't enough. You don't just need a planner, you need clarity. You need to know what actually matters, what actually moves the needle forward, and what actually deserves your energy. Because when everything feels important, you'll always feel overwhelmed. I always say, a scattered business creates a scattered mind. And so many women are carrying constant mental clutter. Too many tabs open, too many unfinished decisions, too many obligations pulling them in different directions, and it becomes emotional exhaustion. This is why simplifying is so powerful. And I want to be clear. Simplifying doesn't mean doing less. It means doing fewer things that matter more. That's a very different thing. Now, let me say one more thing before I give you some questions to sit with this week. A lot of women I work with have lost touch with what they actually want. And I say that with so much compassion. Because when you spend years taking care of clients, family, teams, and everyone else, you can lose your own voice in the noise. You become so focused on maintaining everything that you stop asking, what do I actually want my life to feel like? Not just your business, your life. Because success without peace eventually stops feeling successful. And I think more and more women are waking up to that truth. They're not just chasing more income anymore. They want more life, more peace, more presence, more breathing room, more joy. And I truly believe that's where this industry is heading. Women are no longer willing to sacrifice themselves for success, at least not in the same way. Does building a successful business require hard work? 100%. But is there a world of difference between working hard and living in chronic overwhelm? Absolutely. One is sustainable. The other eventually costs you your health. your relationships, your peace, and your joy. So here's what I want you to hear today. You do not need to earn rest. You do not need to earn peace. You do not need to collapse before you're allowed to slow down. And maybe today, instead of asking, how do I get more done? The better question is, how do I build a business that supports my life instead of consuming it? That question changes everything. Because when you start asking that, you stop chasing productivity at all cost. You start creating intentionality, sustainability, a business that actually aligns with the life you want. And I think that's the deeper conversation so many women in real estate are craving right now. Not another hustle strategy, not another wake up at 5 a.m. routine, not another productivity hack. Permission to build success differently. And guess what? You already have it. You're allowed to redefine success. You're allowed to want peace. You're allowed to create boundaries. You're allowed to build a business that leaves room for your actual life. I know for some of you that feels uncomfortable because your identity has been tied to being the one who handles everything. The strong one, the dependable one, the one who never drops the ball. But your worth is not tied to your productivity. And the healthier your business becomes, the healthier you get to become as well. Before we wrap up, here are a few questions I want you to sit with this week. Where are you constantly overextending yourself? What are you tolerating that's draining your peace? What boundary do you know you need, but you keep putting it off? And what would actually change if your business truly supported your life? Not someday, now. Because small shifts create big transformations over time. Sometimes it starts with turning notifications off, blocking your lunch hour, taking 1 or 2 evenings off per week, not responding to that 9:30 p.m. text, protecting 1 uninterrupted hour of focused work. Tiny shifts, powerful shifts. Because every boundary you create sends a message to your nervous system that you matter too. And maybe that's the deeper healing so many women need. Not becoming more productive, but becoming more connected to themselves again. Ladies, if today's episode hit home, I want you to know you're not failing. You are likely a high-achieving woman who has been carrying too much for too long without enough support. And the beautiful thing is, you don't have to keep building your business the same way you always have. There is another way, a calmer way, a more sustainable way, a way that lets you be successful and still feel like yourself at the end of the day. That's exactly what we work on together. And if you're ready to start that conversation, you know where to find me. And if you don't, all of my links will be in the show notes. Until next week, make it a productive day on purpose. Hey ladies, I hope today's episode gave you something to think about and a little more breathing room as you move through your week. If it resonated, I'd love for you to share it with a friend, hit follow, and take a moment to leave a review. Your reviews mean the world to me, and they help more women find this podcast. For more support and connection, you're welcome to join my free Facebook community at bit.ly/thebalancedbusinesswoman, where we continue these conversations together. That link will be in my show notes. Until next week, take care of yourself. And remember, your business should fit your life, not the other way around.